Ask the streets.
Ask the streets. Ask the streets.
I like that one.
We back in the building with the big brother Bleedo, man. We gonna talk about some hip hop today.
What's good? What's good
with you, man? What you got on your mind, man?
Back on Ask the Street, man. You know the first interview we did was I think we did pretty good, man. Numbers looking good on the YouTube and everything. So I really didn't get a chance to talk about my music and what I'm doing and my thoughts and views on the state of hip hop. So I appreciate you coming back out, again and allowing me to get my thought process off on what I feel like the state of hip hop is in.
So when you talk about the state of hip hop, let's go right into that then.
I think hip hop, as a whole, has really failed the blacks in the community and things of that nature. Because, in my time frame when I was growing up, hip hop was like, man, that was like our pastors. You feel what I'm saying? That was like our prophets. Like, we can listen to their music, we know what's going on and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And nowadays, you don't have those type of artists that's really spitting reality music. You know what I mean? I consider myself a reality rapper. I spit about, reality music or things that's going on in the community. Things that's going on in my life in the hood, things of that nature, things that's going on in the corporate world, the whole 9 yards. You don't really have a lot of rappers that's really touching on those things, and the rappers that do touch on them, they rap on some of the wackest beats. Yeah. You know what I mean? It sounds like poetry on the beat, you know what I mean? And it's not like...
I get what you're saying. So you're saying like the conscious rappers, you know what? From what I know, a lot of the conscious rappers, their music be kind of boring.
Exactly, man.
And so you still gotta make it pop, man. And I get what they trying to do, but you still gotta make it pop. And I do think Kendrick Lamar trying to find that medium, but his content not always.
Man, I'm glad you brought him up, cause man, he just dropped. He just dropped a nice one, man. I mean, I listen to the album a couple times a day. And it's a decent album, man. The thing that I don't like about the album, or that I must critique or criticize, is Hebrew Israelite stuff, man. You know what I mean?
The Hebrew Israelite,
man. He seemed like an Israelite. He say on one song that I'm not a black man, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I believe, if I'm not quoting him the right way. But he said something along those lines. And that's crazy, man. That he gonna reach a big market of people when they pushing this cult, man. They pushing this religion. And, on the song, man, he got, I don't know if it's an elder or a preacher or somebody like, man, we gotta go back to these laws and things of that nature. And that's bad, man. Like, as far as telling people to go backwards and we are these people and things of that nature, man, that's not what hip hop is about, man. I think he's trying to, I don't know, man, that's kind of gospel rap in a way, man. I don't know what he's doing.
So you saying these laws is bad?
Yeah, I mean, in modern time, bro, like if you look at the Bible, and you see like, for example, the Sabbath day. You know what I mean? Now these laws in the Bible are inner laws. They are laws that's for the inner man. These are not outer laws. But what happened is the world has took the Bible and made it a outside book. If you understand what I mean. The book is for the spiritual man. You have a war within yourself, the flesh and the spirit. You know what I mean? So the Bible is a book that's supposed to open up your mind to inner things. So when you hear people saying things like, for example, Kendrick Lamar, we are the Israelites. When he say we, he depicting a race of people. You know what I mean?
The black, Hispanic,
and the Native Americans or whatever. But the Bible ain't for that. The Bible is understanding, like to be chosen by God or to be a chosen person. That's to understand spirituality in your inner man. That's what makes a person chosen. So what Kendrick Lamar did, or whoever he had on that song that was preaching, they starting to just promote this religion now. They want to promote this mass Hebrew Israelite religion and how people join this religion, man. And it's not doing anything for the community. It's not doing nothing for the people. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on that. Like, I think he could have left that off the album. I don't know who he was talking to or who didn't got in his head or got in his ear.
Right.
But he need to drop that garbage.
So it's almost like he still, because the Hebrew Israelites, they still hold that Bible that the Christian, that everybody who Hebrew Israelite grew up a Christian.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that same Bible was used, and then now they just saying that they interpreting it a little bit different, but it's still like the same tool that kept us locked down, it's still there. You know
pretty much. You know, the Bible was used like it's like I said, and you know, I tell people all the time. Now we live in the information age. You know what I mean? So when you had the Bible, let's say about 100 years ago, you know what I mean? You had people that had to go to ministers and pastors and things of that nature in order to get the word. You know what I'm saying? I don't even believe the Bible was allowed to be in people's houses at a certain time. So you had to go get this information. Nowadays, the Hebrews, they going back into that time as if people don't have a Bible, they can't get no understanding, and that you have to come to them. You know what I mean? And that's a big no-no in this day and age, because you following these men in a book. And this was crazy about the Bible, you know, and we're gonna go back to the hip hop, but what's crazy about it is the Bible say, it's a verse, 1 John chapter 2, verse 27, I believe, I'm paraphrasing. It say the anointing which dwell in you shall lead you and guide you, and no man shall teach you. Now, when you think about a man teaching you, this is what got the world in the conditions that it's in today. Man teaching us everything. You think about it, like, I grew up on this side of the street, right? Right. So this man tell me, hey, bro, we GDs over here, we Stones over here. We hate them niggas over there, them niggas over there, them the BDs over there. We at war with them. You feel what I'm saying? So now this dude that taught me, cause I didn't know them brothers at first, but this dude that taught me to hate somebody. Yeah. And when you think about the way the world is, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? They teach men teaching people how to be divided. And that's what the Bible is not about. It's about oneness, man. So I think if Kendrick Lamar would have took the oneness approach with saying we Israelites instead of the all black people was cursed, like that's terrible, bro. Like, we are in the conditions we in because God is in the sky. You feel it? Because this is what he says. It's what he gotta believe. God is in the sky looking down at us because our parents disobey him. We gotta live in the hood. And we gotta live poor.
This is so old though, right? You talking about thousands of years at this point. And so you said niggas is cursed all this time, and then ain't nobody came and redeemed us or nothing. How long we gonna do this? Every generation gonna have to believe that same idea?
Exactly, man.
So I feel what you're saying. Kendrick probably shouldn't be pushing that.
Yeah, man, he should. I mean, like I say, you know, I'm a little person in the world, and that's fine. You know, Kendrick gonna reach millions and millions of people, and you know, some people gonna end up rocking with that Hebrew Israelite stuff. But somebody who I like to plug, who also was a hip hop artist or maybe still is Chingy. You can check him out on YouTube. He had fell into that trap of being a Hebrew Israelite as well, and he came clean on up out of that. And he opened up his pineal gland and came into the spirituality of who he is and understanding of himself, man. That's the main thing, you know what I mean? Okay.
So when you talk about, let's get back into some hip hop though. As far as rap right now, J. Cole or Kendrick, who the hottest?
When I listen, I'm gonna have to go J. Cole, man. You know, J. Cole is I'm not gonna say Kendrick not a rapper, but
Kendrick hard, man.
I just think Kendrick, the beats, in my opinion, again, you know, I like beats, man. You know what I'm saying? So the beats is right, and the words gonna be right if you know how to rap. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think Kendrick, his tracks that he picked to rap on be just different. You know what I'm saying? But that's his style. I ain't knocking his style, but J. Cole, he more of a, you know, he more in there with it, with the realness, in my opinion, especially with what he's talking about. It's more real, man.
And what he's trying to do.
I feel him.
So what's some of the negative things about rap today that you can see that hip hop that the machine then took over and making money off of exploiting the negative things?
Yeah, you know, hip hop always been, you know, you always gonna hire, you know, your good and bad music. I think now, so it's not enough positive or conscious music as far as being able to compete with the negative music. You know what I'm saying? It's not equal. You know, when you listen to, like I said again, when I was coming up, we had the Nas's and the Pops, Tupac, for example. That's like one of my favorite artists.
Tupac?
Yeah. You know, Pac was, you know, when, you know, them guys was spitting that real life stuff. Even though they was still gangster, you know, and they still had the gangster or the thug life mentality, but they had more of a positive type of message for, and something you could relate to. You know, stomach hurts, you poor. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, now you poor and you don't got people talking to you. You know what I mean? You in the ghetto, the niggas ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, being poor and how to come up out of this poorness. And really, in my opinion, that's what music is for. Music is supposed to be to uplift and guide you. You know what I'm saying? You got your party songs, you know, things of that nature. Ain't nothing wrong with party music, but it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to listen to while you zoning in. It's supposed to speak to your conscience, you know what I mean? And there's not enough rappers out there nowadays that's doing that.
Right.
On that level.
Everybody rich.
Yeah, everybody pretty much rich. Even people that ain't rich say they rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that, I mean, the image they put out there is it ain't never been no struggle. Ain't no struggle.
Exactly. And then in Chicago, you know, we got drill rap here. You know what I mean? And it's kind of slowing down a little bit.
Define drill rap. How would you define drill rap?
I think drill rap, my opinion, is just rapping about shooting somebody pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And what they doing in the hood. They basically be talking about what they doing in the hood. I'm smoking on this pack, somebody they killed, you know what I mean, things of that nature. So drill rap is basically just somebody just got a hard track or hard beat, and they just basically spitting about murdering somebody.
Murder and death.
Murder and death. That's basically what it is.
Damn, that's fucked up though.
Yeah.
About how people consuming that type of music, and that's all they consuming.
Yeah.
And then they see they consume it on TV too, and then you know, man, it's everywhere. And so they buy into the idea that this is how it is.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy to me, like with the conscious rappers, man. Like, we in the age now where these beats are crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why you can't get you a crazy beat and talk facts on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, these shorties getting these beats, man, they talking their message on it. But you get, you know, our conscious rappers, they get the most boringest beats, man. Like, come on, bro. You got these hot tracks out here, and this is what you want.
I know it ain't popular for me, but you know, as much as I like Nas, he's always been boring to me.
Oh yeah. Well, see,
but you know what? That I Am album, the one he did with Puffy turned him up though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That album, that was cold.
Well, see, Nas, this is my opinion about Nas. I think Nas is one of the top 5 lyricists of all time.
Lyrics, ain't no doubt.
Yeah. He's just a storyteller. You know what I mean? And that was his strength. Like, if you was into listening to stories and things of that nature, Nas was the dude, because he could paint a picture and you can walk in this, you know, walk down that storyline. He really didn't really rap on too many, you know, cold tracks, but at the same time, in they era, they ain't had them type of tracks, if you ask me.
Shit, Biggie, what about Biggie? Biggie was an awesome storyteller, if you ask me. When it came to rapping, I you know, Tupac was my favorite celebrity, but as far as when just rapping, Biggie was my man.
You say Pac was a celebrity? What you mean by that though? Like, Pac was an entertainer.
So being in the mainstream, from the movies to the music to some everything, you know what I mean? Okay. Pac would have been my favorite overall.
Okay. I was trying to get it. Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, just when you talk about specifically rap, there's a rap song, I think Biggie, man, his voice and the flow, man, Biggie, and then the fact that he told the story and made it pop.
Oh yeah, Biggie top 5 in my opinion.
Biggie top 5.
Yeah, I give him in my opinion, my top 5.
Okay, let's do this.
Pac's one, man. Like,
let's go.
It's a toss. My top 5, Pac won't always be one there.
Pac.
I mean, I'm definitely a big Scarface, you know, Face and Ghetto Boy. I don't know if Face 2 though. I don't want to do 2. I mean, I might have to go Pac. I might have to go Jay second, man. I might have to go Jay second.
I like that.
It's a toss up number 3, man, because you know, a lot of people don't. I ain't gonna say they don't like him, but a lot of people, because he white. You know what I'm saying? Eminem definitely was a cold overall artist to me. You know what I'm saying? So he may be 4, because I gotta throw Face 3, man. Because I'm a big I like Scarface too, bro. Like that's like one. I still listen to Face.
And then Biggie, so you got Pac.
I got Pac, Jay,
Eminem, Scarface.
Probably Face, M, and then
Biggie.
Maybe Biggie, man. Yeah.
Maybe Biggie or Biggie.
It's a lot of different. Like, I'm a Jada Kiss dude, Beans. You know, like them dudes. I mean, to me, them dudes are better than Biggie. I mean, Beans especially, bro. Like, Beans was like, I mean, in that time, bro.
Biggie. You never know Biggie, man. Man, but when it comes to Biggie, talking that Biggie.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, Biggie flow. I don't know, man.
Biggie compared to Tupac.
Huh?
Biggie is in the people.
Well, it's hard to put Biggie with Pac in my opinion because Biggie ain't have he don't have a long catalog. You know, some people throw LL right there and say he the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Up there, but then when you talk about the ancients, those like the guys, man. When you talk about LL,
yeah, that's true though.
And Rakim and all.
And all of them, yeah.
Cool OD, you know.
Yeah, but Biggie, like I say, overall, Biggie did his thing though. Biggie, like I say, I like Pac, Biggie. Like I ain't gonna never say I don't still listen to them cats, man. You know, because it's crazy. Like now, when you think about us getting older and things of that nature, I know when I was growing up, my people had Dusties. You know what I mean? They had their old classic music. You like, man.
We still
now we got our rappers, our Dusties, man.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you don't want to hear the new age rap. You just throw on some old music. Hell, even still listening to some No Limit. You know what I mean? Some Master P. Like it's like, man, you know. But music, like I say, man, music is something powerful. It's just not being used, in my opinion, the right way right now. It's not enough artists that's talking that stuff.
You know what I can't listen to today when I think about old school rap? I can't listen to Bone today.
Bone? Nah, they don't really fit though.
I can't listen to it.
I ain't no knock on them.
I used to love Bone. Don't get me wrong. I used to love Bone back in the day.
Why did you love Bone though?
They was popular. They
were different.
It was something different at the time, and they came out popping. Their beats was smacking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess, you know what I mean, they hit hard, you know what I mean? And so they did the machine.
They beats weren't really smacking though.
I mean, at the time.
You see what I'm saying though about the beats though? Like you go put on a Bone song and then you put on let's say I just called it Wish on Me Quan today. Man, like it's just, you can't even compare the beats, bro. Like it's just like but at our time them beats was what it was. You know? But Bone is kinda hard to listen to because they style is not everlasting style.
They ain't talking about nothing. They wasn't talking about nothing. So that's how I think maybe some of these guys today that's popping.
Yeah.
That's how they gonna be. You ain't gonna be able to listen. The shorty's not gonna be able to listen to that when they get grown and they thinking right. You know what I mean?
That's true. They gonna be like, what was I listening to? That had me on some other shit. You know?
You're not gonna be able to go back and listen to that shit and then enjoy it like you did.
Right. But you know, like I say, man, hip hop is you know, in my this is all my opinion, but hip hop is a powerful tool, man. I just think we got to get back to.
No, that ain't opinion. That's a fact.
That's a fact. I think we got to get back to using it the way it's supposed to be used, man. Like it ain't a lot of this music, and I put like this too, and I got songs that I'm really like spitting on talking about this. But you think about it when in our era, CDs, tapes. So I came up with the tape era, CDs or whatever. People was buying music. You know what I mean? Now we live in an era where it's streaming. So a lot of independent artists, especially like myself, I'm an independent artist. I'm not gonna get the type of plug or whatever that Kendrick Lamar gets to be able to even make music. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like now as an independent artist, and I know a couple of other independent artists who doing, a lot of independent artists who doing this, can feel it. Like you put music out and you gotta find a direction because it's hard to market your music nowadays and make money off of it.
And you know what? A lot of people throw up Chance the Rapper as being a super independent guy, right? But I'm like, I gotta tell people, you know what? I'm not trying to take nothing from Chance. I admire the guy, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
But Chance had a machine behind him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I never followed him. That's crazy. I never really followed him.
Me neither, until he just blew up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, who was Chance? Who's They like, man, because I was doing something, then everybody was there. The man sold out the damn the Sox Stadium, you know what I mean? Sold that boy out, you know what I mean? I'm like, who was doing?
Is he a conscious right? Like I never, honestly, I'll be real with you. Like I never sat down. Like I heard about Chance the Rapper and I've been hearing.
This is what I'm saying.
But I never sat down.
All of a sudden, he popped into this level,
right?
And the streets really ain't heard him like that. You know what I mean? We heard him when we did hear him. We heard him with 2 Chainz and Kanye on the song. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That ain't coming from grassroots. You know what I mean? He had the machine behind him, even though he is independent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and it's not like I don't want no people to fall for the pipe dream to say, okay, you can do it like Chance, and not be realistic with it and say Chance had the machine behind him, even though it wasn't the mainstream machine that pushed Puff Daddy over the top. You know what I mean? He still had a machine behind him that had money and connection.
And I think that what you speaking on that, I think that's what, as far as like what I'm trying to do with my music, it's gonna drive me to do it, man, because the grind is what you want. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's easy in life is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? But something that's hard, you gotta go out and get it. You know what I mean? So I feel like as an independent artist, anybody that's trying to do it on a conscious level, I mean, or any level, you know, we have to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta figure the streaming game out. We gotta figure out how to get in there. And you know, if Ice JJ Fish can do it, you know what I'm saying?
JJ Ice Fish, you gotta say it right.
What is
JJ Ice Fish.
JJ Ice Fish, my bad. So if JJ Ice Fish can do it, man, hey, he found a way
to laugh at him. But
but he found a way. Even if I don't know if you count looking like he might have fell off, but
he looking for some attention because he came out now he gay.
No.
Yes. so he,
I ain't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he just came out with that shit. So.
Yeah, I ain't know that. See, but he made a way for himself though. Even though his music is not really like what you will buy, you know what I mean? But he made a way. Same with the dude. What was that dude's name? Slim Jesus. Was that his name? The white guy. Yeah, he made a way. He got a million hits. You know what I'm saying? So there is a way for us independent artists to make a way for ourselves. We just gotta grind and find it, man. You know, it's not the rap is not for everybody. Everybody can can rap, bro. I was in the studio yesterday. No taking no shot at nobody, but it wasn't really like, well, what is you doing in here spending your money? You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And
okay, now when you talk about you said that you had a philosophy, you threw a philosophy in there. You said if it become easy, it ain't worth it. I don't know, you know, what you mean by that? Like if I can get something easy, I don't mind nothing easy. I don't mind easy money. I guess what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
easy money. You know what
I think my philosophy with that is just, you know, you gotta build things in order to be successful. You know what I mean? If things fall into your lap,
don't expect it to come easy.
Yeah, let's put it like this. If things was handed to you, you would never understand the grind and the hustle, how it take to get it.
Gotcha.
Because somebody handed you it. You know what I mean? But when you build it from the ground up and that hard work, it pays off. You like, man, I remember when I was in my studio with just a karaoke machine. You know what I mean? And now I'm out here. I got thousands of fans and I'm out here pumping music out. It was worth it. But if you know what I'm saying, that's kind of my say. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. Something easy come to you, some easy money. Might be something behind that though.
You know what? Remember the Soldiers at War?
Oh, definitely,
with the orange.
The Soldiers at War. I
think they sold like 500,000 CDs doing how they did it. They was on every street corner, man. You got to go back to that.
If people buy CDs. I think
you gotta find another way to do it though. Maybe they're on CDs, you know what I mean? Maybe they're not with CDs no more. You know what I mean? You got some CDs you bought? You bought when last time you bought a CD? I ain't bought a CD in a while. I got somebody who burned me CDs though.
Okay.
So you know what I mean?
Because CDs almost faded out. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying about the independent artists, like we gotta adapt with what's going on. You know what I mean? We can't go out there. I mean, you can still go out there with CDs and sell them. You know what I'm saying? You might make some money, but for the most part, the person gonna look at you like, man, I ain't buying no CDs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who you is. You know what I'm saying? But if CDs was popping, they might be like, oh, let me go ahead and give you some bread. I see you out here trying to do your thing. But for the most part, everybody be off their phone.
We can't sell them for $10 though. You know what I mean? You gotta sell them for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but then, see, I'll throw this out there since CD's old now, but I had a theory, not even a theory, but just a plan about like, this is any independent artist, you can do this if it's popping in your city with CDs, but buy a duplicator, you know what I mean? Duplicate your own music, and you can sell your music for $1, $2. Because yeah, I mean, because you think about it, I think 100 CDs, I ain't been in that field, but I think 100 CDs is still $20. You feel what I'm saying? So at $20, that's an $80 profit.
It's like $80 for 500.
Okay.
Something like that. It might be cheaper than that now.
Yeah,
$60 for 500.
So you can go on and get it in and get them, get you a duplicator, duplicate your own music, and then sell them for $1. I mean,
buy from Chinese people, they got them.
Exactly. So it's a way, but see, me, man, I think my music, the way I think of my music, man, I want to, and again, I might think high of myself, which, we all should, but I want to be bigger than just Chicago. You know what I mean? I want my music to be in different countries, different cities, because I think the message that I'm pushing needs to be heard all over the world. You know what I'm saying? But definitely first hip, because we gotta clean up our streets, help our children and things of that nature, man.
I think I understand what you're saying about cleaning up the streets, but you up against the machine. You up against Future. And Future telling all the shorties to get high and fuck everything. Just get high and go get so high again and go get high again. Man, like seriously, then you got the designer who falling out of him. This dude, he barely talking.
You don't know what he's saying. But it's
like,
beats.
His beats off the track.
Yeah, we'll produce it for him. But
I'm saying, this is the man. Look at the personality of these guys, man. Like they straight. These dudes, if this was the '90s, they'd be hypes. They'd be cluckers. I said this before, but they like literally. This is not like some real shit. Future dude, you'd be a hype.
Yeah, that's true though.
The man would be that shit. It ain't cool. But they become cool to get power.
But that's what they. But see, that's the thing. That's what they pushing. And I think it's always been in hip hop. It's always been those type of artists that push that type of energy out there. You know what I mean? But I just think it was more of a balance when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't flooded with it. Now it's like you flooded with it. But these shorties, they could think for themselves. You know what I mean? It's just building and showing them. You know what I mean? Like. If you poor and you ain't got nothing when you go in the crib, what you gonna do when you hanging with your guys? You gonna get high with them. You gonna listen to that music. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of easy for you to fall into that. But if you got somebody that's doing the positive thing and putting back into the community, you know what I mean, and trying to build something up to show them like, hey, it's a way that you can do this and hustle positive. I mean, do it the right way legally, if that's the word. I hate using that word, but you can hustle legally,
right,
and make money the legal way. You know, it really ain't nobody selling drugs no more, because it ain't really it's like I say, we living in a different era, bro. Like, so people doing drugs, they not really selling drugs like that. You know,
not like they used to. They somebody selling, but they ain't doing it like that. Ain't like that.
I say in one of my songs, I think I say back then in my day there was gangs selling things on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays niggas slang, you smell death, the aroma. Like it ain't. It's just different now. You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up, we see niggas selling weed or whatever. You know what I mean? You can see it visually, but now it's just a different time. So I understand what you're saying as far as like the hold that these artists have on the youth, man, and the message and things of that nature that they push, and how you gonna come against it. But for each person and this is my motto, somebody that's going hard for negativity, that should be somebody going just as hard for positive.
Gotcha.
And if that person go just as hard for positive, he can reach somebody. You know what I'm saying?
And I do believe there's somebody out there going just as hard, but they just not backed by the machine. Yeah. And so you don't get to know who they are, and we don't see them.
That's because they rapping on them beats, man. I mean, it is somebody. I think I'm one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm the only one. It's a lot of people that have the same spirit or energy that I have, and that's really out here that's trying to make a difference. So I understand what you're saying as far as the machine or the system or whatever not allowing us to be able to get out there, but we can do it. We just gotta fight through it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go with Young Thug. I like to call him Dumb Thug. He got some of the hardest beats on radio that come out. Man. You can't even deny anything about, and his songs do be popping. But I'm just not with all this skirt shit and this rhetoric he talk, man. Come on, my goodness. Yeah. And I know, cause people like to bring up Prince. Oh, look at Prince. And look at this, how they used to dress back in the day. Prince didn't talk like that. He ain't had that type of. And Prince was a star on another type of level, man. Than what a Young Thug is.
Nah, Young Thug ain't a Prince.
Young Thug ain't no Prince. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to say, oh, you can't diss Young Thug for having on the skirt and you ain't diss Prince for the things that he did.
Now, I put it like this. I mean, again, we dealing with these times, man, and the age that we in. Homosexuality is accepted. I'm not gonna say accepted, but it's more so being out there in the open now. You know what I mean? And I think Young Thug, I don't know if he gay. I ain't read too many articles. I would think he is, is gay because of the way he dressed or whatever. But I don't know.
Apparently he not.
I just seen Russell Westbrook dress a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And that's their style. So and he married. So
who dressing these people? Do they got somebody dressing them?
I don't know.
Cause Cam Newton doing it too.
Yeah.
Do they got people dressing them? Or they dressing themselves like this?
Man, I don't know. Maybe they feel like that's what make them comfortable in wearing stuff. Like I don't know. As far as the fashion go, because I do know a little bit. That gay people are into the fashion, and the gay people make a lot of clothes. So I mean, they could have gay designers and things of that nature, and they could just be showcasing their clothes for I don't know, for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But like I say, we living in an age where homosexuality is open now. People is able to get married and be a homosexual. So it's things that we gotta see. And I ain't gonna say there's nothing we can do about it, but at the same time, like you said, it's a machine. So it's like going against the machine. If the machine say you can put a dress on your album cover,
that's what they gonna do.
And you know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna do. And if you ain't got nobody trying to fight against the machine and say, hey man, you ain't gotta do that if you don't want to do that. But there ain't too many people that do that. You know why? Because a lot of these artists are not built the way we are. We militant, we fight back, we stand on our own, you know what I mean?
Then they coming from nothing, they broke.
Exactly.
And then somebody say, man, yeah, you can get this deal, but you gotta be like this.
Exactly.
They'll do it.
And they'll do it. You heard what what's his name? Dave Chappelle was offered so much money and he turned it down because he wasn't finna dress like no female and things of that nature. So
and then the rumor got him and he was crazy.
Yeah. Now what really was think about crazy though, really was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy just mean you ain't normal. Yeah. Normal people with a machine.
You right.
so you gonna look like people call me crazy all day. I mean I know I'm conscious, you know what I mean? I just don't want to be a part of your system. So if that's what being crazy is, then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
the beef with the Nicki Minaj is kind of old now, and Remy Ma.
Yeah, that's old now.
It's kind of old right now. But
Nicki, in my opinion, Nicki did what was right because I'm not saying she probably couldn't hang with.
She came back.
On that song, I mean I don't know. Which one is that?
What's the name of it?
You talking about the song with Lil Wayne and yeah. But it wasn't no full diss song.
Yeah, I think it was, but
it was.
I heard it. It wasn't just her by herself.
Okay.
And I like Nicki's voice, man. Nicki sound good on the mic to me.
Nicki, right now,
she was popping, but it wasn't no diss. She can't fuck with Remy Ma.
Nah, but see, Remy Ma, I never really been a big Remy Ma fan, man. I think Remy Ma is definitely gutter. She gutter, but her style on the beats is trash. I mean, it's like no, she don't be on beat. Like she just be rambling on, and Nicki, but the beat be playing. You be like, is you listening to what you rapping to?
And you know what? And that's I guess the new swag though. You right. I know what you're saying.
She always been like
right,
that though.
But I know what you're saying. I'm not saying you're not right, but I know what you're saying. Because like today's rap, they'll stop for a second and pause. Let the beat hit that motherfucker. Then they hit it with an ad lib or some shit. And then come back.
Yeah.
You got a whole other feeling to it versus what Remy. She just got
like,
that old school.
Blah blah blah. Yeah.
She just go hard at shit.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
So if Nicki would have came back, cause Nicki modern with her flow and her style and everything, she could have probably won, but. You know what I'm saying? I think that Sheikah was a decent track, man. She was definitely it wasn't no ether like Nas, but I don't know why everybody want to try to take his beat and just remake it, man. But she did win if I had because Nicki didn't really respond, and I think it was smart on her part because she in the movie, she doing a lot of different things, man.
Well, this is what she said in this song though. She responded. She talking about like who will lead a son over $1,000 or something.
Yeah, I heard her say yeah.
So she was dissing though. Her whole verse was dissing on Remy Ma. You know what I mean? But she came. So it was definitely a rebuttal, but it wasn't like.
But it wasn't no diss song.
It wasn't hard. I think she just did it so that they could do that. The world can't say she didn't do nothing.
Yeah, kind of like to go back to what we were talking about earlier with Big and Pac. Like Biggie really never responded. So sometimes not responding it's not a bad thing.
Right.
Some people think like you got to like. Look at what
real damage, when you talk about the battle rap scene.
Hey, look what Meek Mill did. Meek Mill responded when he went at Drake, and it was it was over. Drake, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people will pump you up. You're not a battle rapper, or you're not an artist who can really like write battle rap like me. I can write battle songs, everything. If you can't do that, you need to stay out of that.
Yeah, but Drake Drake can't do that with Meek Mill's on no battle rap.
I mean, he did, didn't he?
No, that was like behind. That was like calculated diss tracks.
Man.
You know what I mean? He had somebody right there for him and anything. You know, if he was on Smack TV DVD.
Oh,
God damn it!
And you said they were the ones.
And you got Meek Mills on your left, man, and Drake on the right.
Drake on the lose. Drake on the lose. But that's the business of making music, though.
That's the scene.
So
that's the scene.
No, you know, if Meek Mills was a battle rapper, he'd be on Smack. You know, a lot of people call me. See, I follow Philly rappers, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a Philly head, man. Just not just Beans. I follow the underground cats from the $3 and the Tech Nines and the Kabooms and all this.
What's my man with the voice? He was with the Rock for a while. With the
Freeway. Yeah. So like I follow Philly and Meek Mill used to be cool with a lot of people don't probably know him. Man, I can't think of his name on top of it. It come to me though. But Meek Mills was cool with some cats in Philly.
Was it Gilly the Kid?
Nah, it wasn't Gilly. It's you probably ain't gonna know if I say his name, cause they underground cats. Cause that was Meek Mill used to be underground cat. But you know, like I said, I followed Philly for a while, and people used to diss. They used to make diss songs and battle rap like going at Meek Mills. And Meek Mills never really, you know what I'm saying, was one of them type of dudes to come back. Throwing his hands like that.
No, I see that. I didn't know.
His name Joey Jahad. That's what I didn't know it come to. Joey Jahad was Meek Mill's man. So yeah, I followed that Philly scene. So Drake, you know, again, Drake it's a business. So Drake made them songs, man, and Meek Mills couldn't make no response on it. So it was like his response was terrible.
It wasn't fast enough.
Nah, he should have just left it alone. But people would gas you up, and you gonna let Drake just drop 2 on you like that, and you ain't gonna say? I feel like, nah, you know what? He got me there. You know what I mean? I'm about to make this money. I'd have played it off like, why you making songs about me? Thanks for giving me this plug, but I'm gonna drop an album and get this money. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's how you gotta look at it. So I mean, overall, you know, I close with this, man. Overall, I think, you know, hip hop, again, like I was saying earlier, and to all the independent guys and people such as myself, you know, that's conscious. We gotta make a way, man. We gotta take this modern sound, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say just copy it, you know what I'm saying? But we have to implement consciousness on this modern sound, man.
No, ain't nothing wrong with copying a successful rock. If that's the way to go, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? So
we got it. Like,
you gotta get that shit.
I can't listen to no, and it's me though. Again, I don't know what the world. Kendrick Lamar made sell 1 million. You know what I'm saying? And that don't, what I'm saying means nothing, because he sold 1 million copies of what he's doing. So that's success. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking what they doing in that sense.
But Kendrick's not really boring.
Nah, he ain't. Nah, he Kendrick Lamar is that album. You always have to hit it, and you be
Lupe Fiasco would be boring. He made some commercial.
I like Lupe though.
Oh yeah, we like Lupe. I like Lupe. I like Lupe. But some of his shit's boring.
Yeah, but he ain't. They ain't spitting on no Young Thug type tracks.
That's the issue. That's the issue.
So it's like, think about it like
they on that shit. They on the tracks. Ain't talking about nothing.
Think about it like this. And this is my philosophy, man. Because I used to do gospel rap. And, you know, my mind was like, man, how am I rapping about, you know, the gospel? Who am I talking to? Who am I reaching? I'm only going to reach people who think the same way I think. Mm-hmm. So now you got these, you a conscious rapper, like Kendrick Lamar, for example. Mm-hmm. And these shorties out here, they doing all this, listening to Future and all these people like you were saying earlier. They ain't talking to these shorties. So who going to help these shorties or guide them when they listening to music? Y'all rapping on these daggone poetic beats, you know what I'm saying, poetic justice type tracks. Mm-hmm. These shorties not hearing that. So we gotta find a way to implement and take that sound that these shorties like, all that shit, and put these conscious bars to it and talk to them. Tell them our story. Tell them, hey man, I ain't always been rich, nigga. I come from the gutter. I slept on the floor.
That's real shit. What you talking about?
You feel what I'm saying? That's what hip hop is about. We supposed to adapt, man. Like we were talking about on the other video, evolve. So hip hop has evolved now. So you gonna either stay in that lane or you gonna come on and evolve.
Consciousness ain't evolved with it. That's what's happening.
Exactly. And we got like I say, man, we got the knowledge out here. Everybody speaking consciousness, you know what I mean? But we ain't putting it out here the way it needs to be put out here. So let's grab these beats, let's spit this conscious flow on it and see what happens. Let's see what the shorties do. They may hear it now and be like, oh wait a minute, I need to get myself back straight, because the song hot and the beat is what they listen to.
And you gotta get the flow too. That
the flow is important.
Imagine somebody did a conscious rap with that Bobby Smurda flow, with that hot boy.
On that, yeah. Hey, you can do. Hey, I promise you though. I said I was finna try. You know, I got an engineer, so I can't afford to pay this man all his bread. So my original my songs that I write, I'm going to him with it. But I'm finna start doing and I'm gonna plug myself on here, probably like Freestyle Fridays. Well, I'm gonna put on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, for people that see this to follow me. I'm gonna do Freestyle Fridays, and I'm gonna take a beat. I'm talking like a modern beat. I'm gonna spit conscious on it. I'm gonna show you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a modern beat. I'm gonna take like I heard I mess with this man. Dang, I got so many names in my head right now. I mess with not Young Thug. What's his name that we were just talking about?
Rich Homie?
Yeah, Rich Homie. I think he got a song called "Forgive Me, Lord" or "Forgive Me, God" or something like that. Beat is crazy, man. That beat is crazy. Hey, that beat, and I'm finna take that beat and I'm finna rap conscious. I'm finna take Kendrick Lamar beat. I can't think of the name of the song, and I'm gonna rap conscious. I'm just gonna start showing people what I'm saying. So therefore, it's just not me talking it. I'm gonna put forth the action, and then people like, oh, I see what he's saying. Let's set the blueprint out here. Let's show these guys how to spit on these beats. Let's show these guys how to keep up with these cats. You know what I mean? I took and I'm gonna say this, and then I'll probably send it to you. Probably play it. But I did a song to Panda. Okay. Now Panda is a hard song, but I spit conscious on it. You know what I'm saying? And me spitting conscious on it, I had people sending me like, man, you the coldest dude here. And because Shorty was like, hey, your old man, like my son, the young, your old man went stupid on it, and I spit conscious. I say something along the lines like, I got so many bars, but.
And how's your son friends is? What they?
My son 14, 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh, your pops went stupid. I say something about you know how these shorties be talking about they got the 30 on them or whatever, right? Okay. So I say something along the lines like 30 on me like I'm Stephen Curry, that's about it all these, I say 30 on me like I'm Stephen Curry, that's about it all these young niggas use. You know what I'm saying? 30 on me like I'm Stephen Curry, that's about it all these little niggas use. But how the hell is y'all Stephen Curry when y'all little niggas can't even shoot? No. I say the innocent getting hit though. Kids, man, they getting hit though. I understand that we piss poor, but get the man that it's meant for. You know what I'm saying? So like spitting them conscious bars, but you on that Panda beat, like so I'm just talking it now, but I'm spitting it like I'm in it. Yeah. So it's like, dang, they hear that now. They like, dang, what he talking about is like, wait a minute.
They can feel that.
That's how you gotta talk to him. That's how you gotta talk to him. So we gotta, again, break that bridge. That we only got to rap for our age bracket. You know what I'm saying? No, man, we OGs. We got to get a game to them. They ain't going to get the game from somebody else. They got to get the game from us. And they going to get the game from the music because that's what they listen to. You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick with the Israelite and all that, man, you got to, you know what I'm saying? I know you ain't going to see this, but you got to let that.
It's going to be on the tube. So
you got to let that go, man.
I'm sure you came across General Yohana once or twice.
Yeah, you had to. You got to let that go, man. That ain't, if anything when it comes to with God, anything, it's about inner man, the consciousness, man, and just allowing yourself to be who you is, man. And we wasn't created to follow a chain of command with these religions, man. You know what I mean? Like, the best thing in life you can do is be you. we always, in this world, people say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. You gotta go do this, you gotta work for this company, you gotta do that. No, man, you be who you is. You create opportunities for yourself. Watch what happens. That's what music is supposed to be about. That's how you're supposed to talk to us, man. Don't be preaching we curse, man, and all that, man. Yeah, you know, if we don't go back to these laws, we curse, man. And that's like a spell, bro. Like, that's like saying, God, who gonna serve a God? Now, I'm gonna be real. I ain't worshiping or following no God that'll curse me, bro, from the womb.
Right.
I ain't following that, bro. I ain't turning back to none of that. Like, I ain't gonna curse me from the womb. You feel me? But yet, all these other nations or white people and all these other people, they ain't gotta follow these laws to live in Orland Park. You know, Orland Park is a rich suburb in Illinois. There's people out there averaging 80 grand a year or more. They ain't have to follow the law. They break the dietary law. They eat pork and all that. You know what I'm saying? They barbecue whole pig heads right now. You know what I mean? They working on Saturdays and things of that nature. They ain't keeping no Sabbath day yet. They living a glorious life, but you want us to come back to be like in bondage and still yet live in the hood? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's not making no sense. So we gotta break free from that, man. That stuff's some garbage, man.
That's what's up, man. Alright, baby, we out.
Alright, peace it out.
If you have questions that you would like to ask the streets, contact us at askthestreetsmedia@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you liked the video.